Subscribe. Well done. I'm really curious of how other people did their test, because for me it was, oh my god, I thought I've died on that Friday. I said I have some good news to share with you guys, which is I've got my driver's license in South Africa. Yes, and South Africa is a country that doesn't provide a big variety of public transports. So you have the taxis, which is kind of minivan and is the major public transportation system in the country. In other countries, we would probably call them buses. So you can take the taxis or you can take Ubers. So taxi is I'm feeling so hot. I need to turn on my air conditioner. Sorry. Oh. I can say this is my favorite Korean drink. This is frizzy yogurt drink. It's supposed to help to digest, and also it's very cooling. Especially you have to drink it cool. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I need this. In South Africa, you have the taxis, which is mainly used for the working class, or if you are white collar, and you probably take the taxis, or you take the whole train. If you are in Gauteng, which is the province including Johannesburg and Pretoria, the whole train is a high-speed train connecting Johannesburg and Pretoria, and you have certain stops through the cities, and is much more expensive than taxis, but compared to taking Ubers every day is also a cheaper option, because you can buy the monthly ticket, which you get a big discount. Eventually the taxis, yes, is much cheaper, but it's not very convenient, and also the taxi drivers, they drive crazy. Ask any South Africans how the taxi drivers drive. It is almost like describing someone driving really badly. You can just say they drive like the taxi drivers. So South Africa eventually is a country for self-drive. The best way to get around here is to get your own car and drive around yourself. It's the most economical way and also the safest way, because if you know, South Africa is now the safest country, and pedestrian is not the norm here. Like people, if they don't need to walk, they will never walk because of safety concerns. And also lots of the roads are not built for pedestrians. You don't see the sidewalks for pedestrians everywhere. Lots of the places you just have the road for cars, basically. So probably the best thing I've done during lockdown is to get my driver's license. In South Africa, as you can see, you drive on the right side of the road. So for Chinese or most of other countries, if you want to drive long term in South Africa, you need to get your own license here. And that means you have to go through all the driver's license test from A to Z. And it can be quite complicated and time consuming. Also, the test can be really difficult. It's actually a very good country to drive. In South Africa, you have quite good road conditions. You don't have lots of potholes. The roads are wide and traffic is comparatively small. And you will enjoy driving here, especially driving on one of those scenic routes. If you love driving, you can drive here. I recommend you to drive here. So in order to get your drivers, as a foreigner. There are 3 major steps. First of all, you need to get your traffic registration. Once you registered in the system, in the traffic system in South Africa, you get your registration number. This step is fairly easy. You check online what you need for your type of visa, collect all your, bring all your documents, print them out. You go to one of those bureaus, you queue for the whole day, probably half a day. I don't know, usually, but that definitely involves queuing anyhow. You hand in your paper. If you have everything they ask for, then you get your traffic registration number. There's one thing in South Africa, the bureaucratic level is high in almost all countries. There are some exceptions, of course, but most of the countries, everybody hates the bureaucratic stuff. But here in South Africa, one thing you probably will experience if you want to get your own documents here. You visit these bureaus and you have a list of things, and they tell you certain things, certain documents you are missing, so that's why you cannot get what you want today. And for some reason, they will never tell you there are 1, 2, 3 that are missing. They only tell you one at a time. So today you come and there are 3 documents missing. They only tell you one thing. Next time you come, they tell you another thing, and you don't know how many in total that you are missing until you hit the bottom of the list. What I mean is, be prepared to queue at the bureau offices, and also be prepared to visit multiple times on multiple days. It's just how it goes here. So now you have your traffic registration, and now you can apply to take Learner'S. Learner'S test is for pure theoretical traffic rules, and the test is done by doing multiple choices on the computer in the bureau. See, I'm prepared for you guys, all right? Okay, this is not real. Okay, this is just example to show you how it looks like. This is how the traffic register number certificate looks like. Once you get this one, you apply for your Learner'S test. You study the traffic rules in South Africa properly by learning this book, K53, and that's the name of the test. I mean, just remember everything from this book. If you don't want to buy the book, you can download this menu of PDF files, which is about 38-40 pages of PDF documents. Print them out, it's free. You can download this PDF file from Department Transport Republic of South Africa. You can download this PDF file for free from the official website. Once you pass your learner, you get your Learner'S lessons, and this is how it looks like. The Learner'S lessons. With that Learner'S lessons, you are able to drive already, but the validity of the Learner'S lessons is 2 years. So within that 2 years, you are able to drive, but provided that you have someone else with a valid driver's license sitting on your by driver's side. You can't drive alone, and also you need to have a little sticker on the back of your window. Within that 2 years, you take your driver's test, and then eventually you get your driver's license. So that's how it looks like. Eventually, when you pass your driver's, this is what I've got, but this is not mine. So the previous 2 parts of the driver's license was fairly easy. Is more bureaucratic than mentally challenging, but this part, the practical part, is very difficult. When I was practicing for the test, I hired a professional driver instructor, and I had a professional driver's car, which means I'm driving on one side. On the by driver's side, the instructor also has a pedal that are able to take the brake. In general, people need on average 20 hours driving practice to pass the test. But I would say 20 hours is minimum. So first of all, you need to make an appointment of the test, and then on the day of the test, you go to the bureau. You normally have a booking of a timetable. You can choose time. When I booked the test, all the slots of testings are during the day, which is good because driving at night is much more difficult. At least I think so. If you guys have anything that you want me to eat to do a mukbang, just let me know. I'm not representing any authority and I'm not an expert on anything. So what I say today is only my own opinion according to my own experience. The driver's license are mainly three parts: the car inspections, yard parking, and road drive. Car inspections is a list of things and points that you should memorize in your mind. It's purely memorization, it's here. Remember everything. It's a list of about 17 items and points that you need to check of the exterior of the car. And at the same time, while you are reciting these things out loud, you need to pointing at the corresponding place of that car. It's very easy to remember because when you're reciting these things, you're looking at the car and you will never forget. And also 17 points at the exterior of the car and 8 points at the interior of the car. The second part is the yacht test, which I've heard failed most of the people. You need to park your car from position A to position B, and there are 3 different variants of way of parking that you need to be tested. The first one is parallel parking, alley docking, and also 3 points turn. So these are the 3 parking positions that you need to practice and able to perform with precision. This is a series of very mechanical movements. Basically, you just need to practice so much that the sequence of the movements, the way of turning, the degree of turning, everything is imprinted at the back of your mind. So when you're doing that, you're doing basically like a robot. And every single time you do the same thing, and it's guaranteed that you're going to pass. Basically, you just need to imprint everything in your head that you perform like a robot. That is the goal to guarantee you pass the test. After the yacht test is the road test. For different testing centers, there is a fixed route to test you. And if you know where are you going to be tested, like which testing center that you booked your appointment, and you will know which route are they going to take you on. So you just need to go on the road that you know you are going to be tested on and practice on the road. Ideally the same time and day of your test, and just to test so you know the traffic situation on the road, not just where the road goes and all the intersections, but also the traffic typically at that time of the day, what it looks like. So you are more prepared, you have more expectations of what's going to happen, so which will help you largely. Like taking the test is different from knowing how to drive. I have to tell you, lots of the things you learn specifically only for passing the test. For example, when you're driving, your hand must be of all time keeping at the upper half of the steering wheel. At any point of the test, your hand slip on lower part of the steering wheel, they will deduct points. And every time you stop at a stop sign, your handbrake must be put on Nobody drives like this in real time. So things like this, even if you are very good, experienced, skillful driver, and these are just rules that you need to behave and remember and conduct for the test. So that's what I'm saying. Even if you're a very good, experienced driver, it doesn't guarantee you pass the test. You really have to practice and learn just for the test. And I also want you to share your experience with me, because I'm really curious of how other people did their test. Because for me, it was, oh my God, I thought I've died on that Friday because I was deadly nervous. And this officer was so, I don't know. I just had the impression that he wanted to kill me somehow. I don't know why, but he's a very nice guy. After test, I came out of the office. He actually said hi to me. Oh, how is it? He was a very nice guy. But during the test and anything before that, I just really thought he wanted to kill me for no reason. I don't know why. So it is just how it goes, I suppose. I passed my test on the first try, but it's because I really practice a lot and only book the test when I know I'm ready. Which I prefer that I practice enough and go there just test once, because I don't want to go through that one more time. Because that guy, oh my God, you don't know. That feeling that someone wants to kill you is not good. Let's just say that.